Welcome back to Everything But the Lesson Plan, the podcast where we dive into the heart and soul of teaching beyond the textbook and classroom walls. I am your host, Franchesca Thompson, and today we're bringing you a truly inspiring story. Teaching is more than just a profession, it's a journey full of challenges, triumphs, and personal growth. And today we are lucky enough to be sitting down with someone who walked the path, faced those challenges, and came out on the other side stronger and wiser. Joining me today is Miss Tonya Walker Harris, a dedicated educator whose passion for her students and her craft have transformed not only her classroom experience, but also her life. We'll hear about the highs and lows and everything in between as she shares her unique journey into teaching and what has kept her motivated along the way. Welcome to the show, Tonya. How are you today?
Well, I'm well. Thank you for having me. What
Yes,
an introduction. That
yes,
was
ma'am.
awesome. That
Look, I
was
was about to say
awesome.
the one and only, the queen bee of education in North Carolina. Y'all better know.
That was awesome. It makes me keep going.
Yes. So I already told them where you're from, but tell us exactly where do you live?
Well, I live in Charlotte, North Carolina right now. But I am from Fayetteville, North Carolina. So
Mm-hmm.
I've been in Charlotte, the Charlotte area for about 22 years. And I really love this place. But I'm originally from Fayetteville, but I've made my home here in Charlotte.
So when you started teaching, did you start in Charlotte or Fayetteville?
Oh, no, I started in Fayetteville.
Okay.
Yes, I was a teacher assistant in the Head Start program. So that's how I started.
And how did you get there? Head Starts. That's it. We're going to talk about Head Starts. I want you to kind of tell people what that program is, but tell us, how did you start there?
Okay, well, I started because I am a product of Head Start.
Oh.
Yes, I attended the Head Start program, Cumberland Community Action Program
Hmm.
in Fayetteville, and I was one of those little kiddos that attended there. And I just never knew the impact that attending the program, how it would impact my life. So once I graduated high school and went through that journey of school, I just knew that I wanted to give back to the Head Start program
So
because
they made an impact on your life.
oh yes, 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 yes.
So you went to school for education?
Yes, I attended Winston-Salem State University. Whoop, whoop. And received my bachelor's in education. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I don't think we really have the Head Start program here in, well, it's not as big here in Georgia, and we probably call it something else. So tell people what the Head Start program is and
O-
the purpose.
Okay. Initially, the Head Start program was created by LBJ at the time, Lyndon B. Johnson, and
Mhm.
it was a war on poverty. So that's how
Mhm.
it was created. His wife, Lady Bird, that was something that she spearheaded, and it moved on forward like a snowball effect after that.
Mhm.
So once that was created, which was 1965, that's
Mhm.
when the Head Start program was created. And initially, it was created for a social emotional program, but then it then was attached to school readiness. So that's what Head Start is all about, and it's also federally funded. It's a free program,
Mhm.
and it's for low income families.
Well, I never even knew that it was attached to. So we're up here using all these words now, social emotional support. Y'all telling me y'all the OGs of that?
We are the
Hey.
OGs. Everything out there now is patterned after Head Start.
Oh
So
my gosh.
I'm gonna give us a shout out. Toot toot.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, well,
yes,
we learned today. Okay.
yes,
Well, I
yes.
love that. I love that program. So I'm trying to think, what is that similar to? How old do you have to be in the Head Start program?
Well, we have the Head Start program that services ages 3 to 5.
3 to 5.
And then we also have an early Head Start program, which services 6 weeks to 36 months.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, that's amazing. That's awesome. That all
Yes.
the readiness those kids get before they enter into like your elementary schools. I'm sure you probably have seen studies where the Head Start program really improves like reading scores and things like that.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah, that's good.
Head Start is a wonderful, comprehensive program.
Mhm.
So, we specialize in servicing the whole child, which is the whole
Mm,
family.
wow.
So, we participate in screenings for the children, dental, vision, hearing screenings. We do all of that. We make sure the children have their physicals. So, in turn, um, having those comprehensive services,
Mhm.
we turn to the parents and we ask the parents, is there anything that you may need? We set
Mm,
goals with the parents so they to help them understand that they are their child's first teacher. So
yeah.
we want to get them excited as well so
Mhm.
it all can transfer from the home to school.
Oh, wow.
So that's where we want to make sure that the parents are excited about their child's education. So it'll be a wonderful journey for their whole family.
Yeah. I'm glad you guys you're saying this because this class that I'm in, well, I took last year. It was called Racing to Class, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what they were talking about. You confront poverty and some of the issues in the classroom by making sure that you're inclusive of the family members that
Exactly.
that have the child. They've got to be able to take care of the child once they leave your space. That learning has to continue. Not everybody knows how to do that. And
Right.
so your program helps them build that character up.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. We are really careful about empowering the families. So
Mhm.
we create a policy council. So each site has a representative, a parent
Mhm.
to per se be on a board, and the board is made of parents, community partners, and even individuals in the organization, and they make the decisions for the agency. And
Yeah.
our parents are involved in everything. So it really gives them an opportunity to build on their self esteem. And it may parlay into something of getting a job at the agency or a job outside of the agency. Just having that experience is really great for the parents. They take hold of the decision making process and they love it.
Hmm. And so when and I'm glad that we're on today because a lot of the people that I interview are in that high school, middle school range. I
Mm-hmm.
might have had maybe one or two elementary school, but this specific program here is unique and it's an area that teachers can get into and it
Mm-hmm.
can speak to their, kind of like what their career goals are. How involved do you want to be in the process of educating the child? In the Head
Mm-hmm.
Start program, you're involved with not only the child and the parents, and you guys create the space for those teachers to engage with parents, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes, we
good.
do.
That's good. So
Yes. The
you started off as a teacher in the
mm-hmm.
classroom, and then, and I love that you went into leadership. So your story is you went to Head Starts as a child, then
Mm-hmm.
finished up school. You knew you were going to go into education, graduated, became a teacher in the Head Start program, and worked that
Yeah.
for a while. And now you had transitioned into leadership. Tell us about that.
Well, sometimes you have individuals that see more about you than you do in your own self.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a mentor, her name was Toria Grant,
Mm-hmm.
and she asked me, are you interested in being a center director? And I said, no, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
So she said, I think you'll be wonderful. Your character, your professionalism, it would carry over well as a director.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't know. I don't know. I love teaching. I love my children, my families. So, that went on the next year. And she came back to me. She said, okay, well, this time I'm not asking you.
Hmm.
I'm firmly telling you, you have been nominated to be a center director. So
Yes.
yes, so kicking and screaming, of course I did it.
Hmm.
And it's just another piece of the puzzle,
Hmm.
another realm into the Head Start program. So you're not only now learning about children and families, you're learning about the premise of the program and the different components of the program
Hmm.
and how the program fits into the wheel management and how everything works. And if this piece doesn't work, it's all going to fall apart. So
Hmm.
it's a great thing to be in this space that I'm in. And I also get to touch the lives. Now I'm excited about helping the educators grow.
Hmm.
So it's just a wonderful opportunity, and it's just another stepping stone. And I'm really enjoying this journey.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm glad that you had that mentor that pushed you. Sometimes we need that. I have had mentors as well that have pushed me in spaces and places. I'm like, nah, that ain't for
Yeah,
me, sis. But
right.
actually, it was. And we
Yes.
need that in our life sometimes. So that's good. And it
Yes.
grew you as a leader. And in the program that you actually, dreamed of working in, ever since you was like a child. So that's good. So whenever you got into that leadership position, you got your mentors and everything like that. If you could think of anything, any memorable moment in this whole time that you've worked in education, something that kind of stood out to you that has developed who you are.
Hmm. I would say during the school year, on Bosses Day, as a leader, you
Hmm.
think that your leadership is frowned upon, especially your direct reports, and you think that you're not making an impact in their journeys and in their lives or whatever. But when you have those teachers that come to you during the end of the year or throughout the year, and they come in your office and they're teary eyed, and they're
Yeah.
telling you, you may not realize it, but you have really, really played a major part in my education journey.
Mm,
And when they're telling you these things and you're looking at them, and it's just amazing to me because oftentimes you don't get pats on the back. You don't get that,
right.
um, you know, especially in the leadership position. And when you have your teachers that you're leading, and they come to you and they say how you influence their lives and their
Yeah.
education journeys and this and that, and it just makes you feel good, and it helps you just keep going and keep striving. And those days are the great days.
They are.
And yes, they are the great days. So I appreciate all of that when I get that.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
So when we think about just think about your journey for a moment from start to finish. And this podcast is developed for teachers. It is really to help teachers understand the journey.
Hmm.
This episode specifically is to help teachers to understand the journey of
Hmm.
education. So if you could go back, all right, and tell your first year teacher self something, right? What
Hmm.
would you tell yourself? First year, did you got all this
First year,
experience, and now what would you go back and be like, girl?
first year, I would say have fun with it. Don't be so critical. Don't
Mm,
be so critical of yourself. And I would also tell myself, and I know you probably hear this a lot,
hmm.
but you always have to remember your why.
Yes. Yeah.
You always have to remember your why,
Hmm.
because when you're in that classroom and, or being a center director or whatsoever, and you have a child that's always coming in late and things like that.
Hmm.
And even the teacher saying, "Oh, Miss Walker Harris, they're late every day. Why are you letting them come in?" And you have to sit back and say, okay, we're in the Head Start program.
Hmm.
Would you rather this child sit at home watching TV all day,
Mm,
not having a balanced meal,
mm-hmm.
not having anyone say, I love you, not having anyone say, you can
Wow.
do it, I'm proud of you? Would
Mm,
you rather him sit at home, not get that? Or would you rather him come to school and hear that from his smiling teacher
mm-hmm.
all day long?
Wow.
So you
Glad
have to
you said
remember
that.
why you're an educator.
Yeah. And sometimes, the things that we've endured the years in education can kind of pull you away from the why. But like you
Mm-hmm.
said, you got to quickly get back to it and understand it and feed that why, right?
Yes,
Because it's a lot that's going on, but you've got to get back to feeding your why.
yes,
Just having your goals, having your missions, reading things that help feed your why, doing things that help feed your why. So I'm
yes,
glad that you put that out there for teachers to know for sure.
yes, yes. I think everyone should keep that under their cap.
Yeah.
Uh, it doesn't matter if you're at a Title One school
Hmm.
or you're at a high ranking school. It doesn't matter. There's always a why of why you're there and how you're going to impact those children's lives.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story
You're
today.
quite welcome. You're welcome. I can talk all day, but I know I have a time limit.
No, I'm gonna have to come, we're gonna have to come back and talk about, I want us to maybe take a deep dive in this racing to class, confronting poverty, and kind of
Oh
some things
yes.
that you guys are doing that maybe other schools can tap into. We'll
Oh
see.
yes, yes, yes. I would love to
Okay.
hear.
Yes. Well, thank you once again for volunteering your time and knowledge to improve the lives of so many teachers. This
Oh, I love.
episode is really about telling a story, and stories are good for the soul and
Oh yeah.
helping people connect, right?
Right. I totally agree.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. We have to stick together. These educators, we have
Mhm.
to stick together
We have to
because
stick together.
one story might inspire someone else to
That's
keep it
right.
going. Yes.
That's right. We don't know who is going to listen to this one day, but hopefully they will connect with something you said. And once again, Miss Tonya Walker Harris, thank you for your service.
Well, thank you so much for having me. This was a joy. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm
For
so
my
proud of you, by the way. So proud.
oh,
So proud.
just trying to keep it going. I just love being able to give teachers information and supporting them,
Yes.
just like you. So that runs in the family. And by the way, Tonya Walker Harris is my cousin. Okay, so we got a
Yes.
bunch of educators in
I
our
don't know if I
family,
should put that
me,
out there.
her, and Tiffany. So we all we love education.
Oh, me, you and Tiffany should get together and do a podcast.
You look. Let me call her up.
Okay.
Well, for
All
our
right, Frank.
listeners, please don't forget to answer the poll, like, vote, and share this episode. And guess what? We're now on YouTube, and I see you guys watching the videos on YouTube. Keep it up, okay?
Oh, that's
Yes.
awesome.
Yes. Educators, keep thriving. Good night.
Good night, Franny.